Thoughts. Thank you for joining me again today as we continue to expose the globalist agenda in the world with focus on South Africa and the things that are happening in our country right now. Today, we're going to be exposing more of the Nigerian PSYOP, the Nigerian CIA operation that is taking place in Africa. Um, I keep telling you guys that Nigeria is a terrorist organization that belongs to the CIA. They are CIA cooperatives, and their goal is to destroy any type of progress or development that could potentially take place on the African continent. This is why you see Nigerians all over Africa doing the same things: criminality, selling drugs, de-radicalizing the youth, pacifying them through drug addiction, trafficking them, using this money that they've gained through illicit means to control the populace, to control the people, and to essentially enslave them and make sure that any inkling of hope, of progress in that country never comes to fruition because they've captured the youth. Nigerians have captured the judiciary of your country. Nigerians have captured the police service in your country. They've captured the immigration officers in your country. And they've crippled the very institutions that are supposed to be enforcing the law and ensuring that the citizens are protected against these terrorists. I'm not going to mince words anymore. I'm going to be very direct about what's going on. Nigeria is a terrorist organization backed by the other terrorist organization called the United States of America. And these two are working together in conjunction to ensure that the countries or countries of interests never progress, never move forward. And anytime there's potential or hope for them to move forward, they're pacified through Nigeria's illicit activities in those countries. Now, I want to show you guys this Christmas Day, these Christmas Day bombings that took place in Nigeria, courtesy of the Nigerian authorities who went out, who sought the aid and assistance of the United States to bomb their own people, to bomb their own country. Now I'm gonna analyze and break down what is actually going on here so that you can understand how dangerous it is for Nigeria to have any type of relationship with the USA that involves bombs. Any type of communication between Nigeria and the USA that results in bombs exploding anywhere in Africa is not good. I'll break that down for you. Supposedly, that was the bomb that was launched by America targeting Nigeria, right? So I guess we're supposed to believe that Nigeria are the victims in this situation, right? That's what we're supposed to believe. But little do you know, Nigeria asked for these bombs or this bomb to be dropped on its own country. You know, when psychopaths come together or mentally deformed people come together to work together and they have this much power, it's dangerous to the human race.
Breaking moments ago, President Trump announcing a powerful strike against the Islamic State in Nigeria. Let's go back to Madison Scarpino live in West Palm Beach with the breaking details. Madison?
Yeah, Mike, President Trump says that strike was deadly, and he says it's because they've been targeting and viciously killing primarily Christians. Now, he just made the announcement on Truth Social saying in part, quote, "I have previously warned these terrorists that if they did not stop the slaughtering of Christians, there would be hell to pay." And tonight there was. The Department of War executed numerous perfect strikes, as only the United States is capable of doing. Under my leadership, our country will not allow radical Islamic terrorism to prosper. May God bless our military, and Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists, of which there will be many more if their slaughter of Christians continues.
Now, it's important for you to understand the political game taking place here, where America has the green light, or the free license, to commit acts of terrorism under the guise of trying to protect peace or democracy and freedom. Now, we're not entirely sure what exactly is going on here, but we know that the formula for terrorist organizations and what they use the media for is they create a problem, they get a reaction, and then they propose a solution. The solution is an act of tyranny that they wouldn't have been able to pass or have the people agree with without the problem and reaction. So they create the problem to elicit a reaction and then present the act of tyranny, which to you is presented as a solution. But it's not really a solution. It's another way that these terrorist organizations can take away your freedom while pretending that they're bringing you peace. So it's a psyop. It's total subversion of what the people really want. And Nigeria, being a terrorist organization themselves, cannot be trusted because we are being led to believe through mainstream media that somehow Donald Trump is standing against Islamic terrorist group or an Islamic terrorist group in Nigeria and coming to the defense of Nigerians. Obviously, if you're smart, you don't believe a word America says. You don't believe anything Donald Trump has to say because you understand their MO. As Americans, when they want something, they go into your country and invade, but they disguise it as them bringing you help or bringing you some form of aid. Now, the question is, are Nigerian leaders in on this or not? Because obviously, Nigerians have no clue what's going on. No, Nigerians are they're just going, most of them are just going along with the program. They've got no clue what's really going on. But I have good reason to believe that the Nigerian leaders are in bed with America and that the Nigerian leaders are willing to allow acts of terrorism on its own people for the sake of whatever profit or material gain or monetary gain, because we've seen that Nigerian leadership is a reflection of the Nigerian people. All they care about is ways to make money, legal or illegal. In fact, mostly illegal. They don't care about human life. All they care about is having the financial means to flex on other people, to look down on other people, and show their superiority over their own people. That's Nigerian culture for you in a nutshell. I don't believe any of what we're being told in the media for a second, that what Donald Trump is doing is to try to bring peace to Nigeria. We know when America talks about bringing peace to a land, what that actually means. They're there as terrorists to expand their terrorism in that region with the permission and with the support of the leaders of that country. What this actually means for Africa remains to be seen, but I do have a feeling that Nigeria and America coming together in this way, because what I see is a partnership that has to do with the subjugation or continued subjugation of Africa using the biggest pawns of them all, Nigeria, who will sell out their own brothers' birthright for a few dollars. It doesn't take much to get Nigerians to sell out. Nigerians will sell out their own people for money. They destroy the lives of many Africans selling drugs just for money. They traffic their so-called brothers and sisters on the continent for money. These people cannot be trusted and are not to be trusted. And if you're still trusting of Nigerians up to this point, you're probably the victim of witchcraft or some form of dark magic that these Nigerians practice. Because you cannot be in your right mind and trust these people with their track record and their patterns of behavior. They've proven time and time again that they are not to be trusted. They've proven time and time again that they are sellouts for money, that they will sell you out, that they will sell out their own people. They will scam their own people. They will scam people on the African continent for money. They don't care. They are desperate, not to try to survive. They are desperate to try to show off and make other people feel bad and make themselves feel superior because their self-esteem is so low. These people are dangerous. They've got a pathological mental disorder, like I've said many times. They're not okay in the head. And now they're partnering with people who drop bombs on nations for fun. This is a very dangerous collaboration that I believe is going to lead to more subjugation on the African continent with the help of Nigerians. Because all you have to do is flash some money for a Nigerian, and they will do whatever you want. They will do any type of atrocious crime. I mean, these people perform money rituals using the organs of their own family members. Do you know what it is to sit down and carve open your own family member to extract their organs so that you can sell on the black market? See, I don't think you guys understand the level of criminality that Nigerians are capable of. You think these are just normal human beings. No, you have to think of them as people with a psychological, with a mental disorder. They are not normal. If you don't see them in that light and in that way, you are endangering yourself. Everywhere where Nigerians are, they are a national security risk because they bring with them trafficking, they bring with them drugs. Just know, when Nigerians are in your country, it means your borders are compromised. It means trade in your country is compromised because illicit goods are entering into your country with the help and the assistance and the aid of your immigration officers, of your police, of your government. Just know they bribe any and everything walking. So when we talk about Nigerians and America, two peas in a pod. That's what we're describing. Two sides of the same coin. They are both terrorist organizations powered by the CIA, and they're very dangerous. And you have to read much deeper between the lines to understand that what you're being shown in mainstream media, that there's way more to it than meets the eye. You must analyze, you must inspect, you must ask a lot of questions and scrutinize to try to get to the bottom of what's actually going on. So I urge you yet again, do not believe anything mainstream media tells you. Investigate as deeply and as far as you can to try to understand what's really going on. For Donald Trump to launch these bombs on Christmas Day and then tweet about it and then say Merry Christmas, and for Nigerians to be celebrating. I mean, Nigerians are celebrating that, yeah, Donald Trump has intervened. Nigerians are thanking God. This is how ignorant these people are. They've got no idea of the level of the psyop taking place in their own country. They are thanking God. I mean, these people are religious retards. They justify killing one another for the sake of Islam or whatever religion, and then they justify scamming their own people through Christianity and saying that God will bless you, but you must give me your money first. These people are wicked to the core, and they will use anything, culture, religion, to justify their actions, to obtain money. That's their ultimate goal. And they'll use anything. They'll use religion. They'll use culture. And they'll kill in order to get what they want. They have all of these terrorist groups, terrorist organizations. And here you are, whichever country you're from, allowing these people to enter into your country. There should be a global ban on Nigerians. Restrict them from traveling, restrict them from being able to enter into your country to destroy your economy, to destroy your people, to destroy your youth with drugs and trafficking. By now, we have enough evidence, and yet you people are still allowing Nigerians into your country. Nigerians should not be allowed to leave their own country until they fix it, which they will never do. They'd rather die than deal with the problems at home. They themselves know that Nigerians are not humans, that they're animals, and they can't wait to escape from the living conditions that they're exposed to in Nigeria, to live where people are civilized. Because in Nigeria, people are not civilized. There's something wrong with them. I keep telling you guys, these people are not normal. Kick them out of your country, get them out of there. But anyway, the point of this video was to express to you guys that Nigeria, whatever's going on between Nigeria and the USA, has more to it than what meets the eye. Donald Trump is not there to bring peace. This might have something to do with them trying to get to Burkina Faso, to try to get to Traore. It's a security risk anytime you are close to Nigeria and Nigeria is working together with America. The surrounding countries in West Africa, please be on high alert. I really, really urge you guys to be on high alert and prepare yourselves and get ready, because we're not entirely sure what is being planned between Nigeria and the USA, but they're surely up to no good. Do not trust or believe anything the mainstream media tells you. There's more to it than than what they're showing us right now. So America is not there to bring peace. When they're starting to drop bombs on Islam terrorists and talking about they're killing terrorists and Merry Christmas, there's more to it than this. And mind you, America is the only country that's allowed to kill in retaliation, and it's allowed. No other country is allowed to do this. This is murder on the global stage, and they publicize it as if it's normal, as if it's some movie about revenge and doing the right thing or justice. This is wrong. You understand? So America is the only country that's allowed to do this. Imagine any other country that does this. Imagine if South Africa does this. We'd immediately be labeled as xenophobic, even though we're not. I think it's been proven over and over again that South Africans are not xenophobic. We're just logical beings, and we are analyzing what's happening in front of us and talking about it and showing it to the world. And of course, there's mob justice. Mob justice exists in every community. If you commit crimes in certain communities, they're going to deal with you, and that's not xenophobia. That's you effing around and finding out. So you can call it whatever you want, but you will not come into our country and terrorize us. We will deal with you accordingly. The problem with America is that they go into other people's country to try to extract minerals from them. And they use force, they use violence. That's terrorism. Look what they did to Venezuela, stealing their oil in broad daylight, right? Under the guise of stopping the drug cartel. They always make up a story in the media to justify their evil. So anytime America's cooking up a story or propaganda against you, like what they're doing against South Africa, talking about the white genocide and farm killings, which are all untrue, even the xenophobia is all untrue. It's a psyop to justify a possible invasion into South Africa. We are very well aware that all this propaganda, all the bad press that's being spread about black, I want you to listen very closely to what's going on in South Africa. South Africa is under attack as a whole, but specifically black males in South Africa are under attack because everything is being blamed on black South African men. They said the white genocide is because of black South African men that are killing farmers, right? They said xenophobia is because black South African men are jealous of foreigners. They say GBV, right, is because black South African men are killing black South African women, even though there's been no data to justify any of this, because South Africa does not collect data according to the gender demographics and race demographics. So all of this GBV, all the statistics are not specific to the race of the people that are committing these crimes or the gender of the people committing these crimes. It's being assumed that it's black South African men. We don't know whether it's black foreign men. We don't know whether it's white foreign men. We don't know. It's just being assumed that it's black South African men that are doing all of these things. And the media will say these things proudly as if they've got evidence to substantiate it, and they don't. All of these things are psyops to try to neutralize the military force that can actually stand against the invasion that is coming, to cause division in the country, to antagonize the men, the defensive line of various nations all over the world. Men are being attacked by these globalists. Men are being presented as the enemies. Women are being taught and told to hate the men in their own countries. Why are globalists doing this? Because they know that the defensive line, the resistance is going to come from the men. So if you neutralize the men, if you neutralize masculinity, it's much easier for these invasions to take place and these persuasive ideas to take root in your society, because the men will push back. And when we push back with violence. So they're trying to neutralize that. And as men, we must be very conscious of what's going on and how our lands are being invaded using different strategies. And we must be ready to fight and defend our land. Yes, with violence. Diplomacy can only take you so far. Debates and discussions can only take you so far. Social media Posting and engagement can only go so far. At some point, you have to be ready for war. Even if it means you must die for your land, you must. Hence why in my previous video, I spoke expressly about how we need to get off social media and start getting engaged in our communities. Because social media can only do so much. Yes, we need our media personalities to counteract the propaganda with news from our perspective. Because I don't believe in the concept of truth. There's no objective truth. There's always a perspective. There's always news or information from a specific perspective. There's no objective truth. So it's important that your voice is represented from your people's perspective so that you're not drowned out by the propaganda of another nation that is trying to enforce their own agenda on your land, your minerals, your identity, and your culture. You can't allow that. You must counteract it with your own piece of personal propaganda, your own POV from your own community, from your own people. That's how you fight back using information. So, Nigeria is a very dangerous, and America. These are terrorist organizations. You must be very wary of them. Do not allow these globalists to divide you in your country. They usually divide you through race, right? Anytime different races look like they're coming together in your country, notice that there's always a breaking news story of some egregious act of racism. Anytime the men and women come together, there's always something that drives them apart, some egregious murder or act of sexism to try to drive apart the people in those countries to make sure that the divisions that they've implanted in your country remain. Even culturally, they always try to cause division amongst the cultures or amongst the religions. There's always a breaking news story that stirs things up in the country to stir up that division and to keep the division alive. Please, guys, you have to pay attention to these things. There's no reason why you people in your own country should be divided across race, across religion, across culture, or across gender. These gender wars that are being stirred up through feminism and all this nonsense. These are psyops. You must understand these are psychological operations that are meant to divide us so that we never come together to fight against these globalists and the agendas that they're pushing, which include open borders because they're trying to create a one world, new world order with no borders, one government, one currency, one economy, one world leader, where all of our beliefs and cultures are dissolved and absorbed into this one new world order, one new culture, one new religion, one world leader, which will be powered by AI. Open your eyes and understand what's going on in the world. Stop believing mainstream media. Start getting your news directly from people from your community who have made it their job to report the news and to give you guys what's truly going on. You should be at a point right now where you have relationships with people within your own community. You're starting to barter together, you're trading together, and you're becoming reliant on one another within your community and not on the big supermarkets and the big oligarchs and whatever it is that they're providing to make life quote unquote convenient. Remember, convenience is a sacrifice of your freedom. Don't fall for the trap of convenience. Do what is inconvenient to preserve your freedom and do it together as communities. Stop looking for an easier way out or an easy way to do things in life and start collaborating with people in your own community. Create your own currencies, create your own economies, trade with each other, barter with each other, buy from one another, trade and share skills with one another, empower one another, give each other jobs in your communities. Stop relying on your government. Stop relying on big organizations and big corporations and big oligarchs. Stop. Because that's what's ruining countries. That's what's ruining cultures. That's what's destroying national cultures and cultural identities around the world. It's happening simultaneously all at once. All of these attacks, all of these globalists pushing illegal immigration, changing the demographics of countries, changing the bloodlines, the history, the heritage, erasing cultures and heritages before our very eyes. You can't allow it to happen. You must push back, even if it means going to war, even if it means physical violence. You must do it. I'm speaking particularly to the men because they've neutralized you guys. They've made you guys content creators. You guys are too busy posting selfies on Instagram in good lighting. You don't understand what it takes to defend your homeland. It's not you posting your cars on Instagram showing that you're a consumer and nothing more. What are you creating? What are you making? What are you inventing? What are you discovering? If the answer is nothing, you need to get to work and stop flexing on Instagram to try to get girls. Because I know that's what you guys are doing in the DMs. You guys have zero self-control. That's why it's easy for the globalists to control you the way that they are. And you guys will never push back. Critical thinking is gone. Schools are not teaching. Schools were never even meant to really educate people. They were taught to create essentially zombies that do as they're told and that don't question or challenge the status quo. A smart, intelligent person creates their own systems that empower their people, as opposed to getting a degree that pacifies you into going along with the status quo as long as you're being paid a monthly salary. Some of you people are cowards. You worked hard to get degrees, to get qualifications, so that you can be pacified into silence while you go ahead and go along with the status quo without challenging it, without trying to change anything in your communities. Just going along with it just because you're being paid for your silence, a monthly salary for your silence while you watch your people die. You guys are cowards. You make me sick. You make me sick. And you're gonna say, "Oh, because you're jealous." It's because nobody's jealous of you. You're cowards. There's nothing admirable about the black middle class. You people are cowards. You think you can live quietly away from all the problems that you're clearly seeing taking place in your community, and your excuses, what am I supposed to do? You're supposed to hold hands together with the people in your community and empower one another instead of trying to be the outlier. Instead of using the excuse that how can I help you unless I help myself? You'll never be able to help anybody because you'll never be able to help yourself on your own. The community must come together, hold hands together, and fight this battle together. But you people are too selfish and self-centered because you've been programmed by the modern day propaganda to only think about me, myself, and I. For me, there's no success without communal success. You cannot be a success all on your own, an outlier, an island all on your own. You're only as successful as the lowest of the low within your own community. That's the measure of success to me. When I see these Nigerian celebrities driving the most expensive cars on the most broken roads, it just shows you the character of the people in Nigeria. That they don't understand that they must empower one another to succeed together. What's the point of driving a Bugatti on a broken road? Your people are starving. They don't know where their next meal is going to come from, but you're too busy flexing on them on Instagram. You people are morons and you're mentally deformed. But anyway, let's listen to our favorite Nigerian, Chimdi. I like to hear it from the horse's mouth because you guys like to say that we're xenophobic. And South Africans are not xenophobic. They're the friendliest people in the world, hence why we get taken advantage of. But trust me, all of this is changing. And you're going to be met with the same energy that you've come to our country with to cause destruction and to cause violence. And media propaganda will not be able to save you this time, like it saved you the first time when we warned you guys to stop committing crimes in our country. And don't tell me, oh, but South Africans also commit crime. Yes, it's our own country. And Africa is not a country, it's a continent with various countries and various cultures. We are not one, we are not united, and we're not the same. And we don't want to unite with you guys. We know the countries that we share similar values with, and we're friends with them. But this thing of trying to force African unity is not going to work because it's a globalist, elitist agenda, and we will not allow it in our country, at least in South Africa. Everybody must stand up for their own country and fight. This globalist agenda of trying to classify everybody as African, no. We have individual countries with individual cultures. Just because you are not proud of your own country does not mean you can cluster us together under this umbrella of one Africa because your country has failed and you're ashamed of that. So now you want to share in the successes and development of other African countries that have worked their butts off to develop their countries. You know, you do not get to share in the spoils. You do not get to reap where you did not sow. Work on your own country so you can be proud of where you're from instead of trying to inherit this umbrella term called Africa to share the accomplishments of countries that have worked their butts off over several generations to get somewhere. We're going to listen to Chimdi. I swear Chimdi is not Nigerian. He's such a unique person because he thinks exactly like how we think as South Africans. He thinks like Kenyans. He thinks like Ghanaians. Got a similar mindset to countries that want to develop themselves. Namibians, Botswana, Basotho, Swatini, the Ndebelers of Zimbabwe who are being victimized by the Shonas. Shonas are horrible people. I feel sorry for the Ndebelers because they are suffering from xenophobia at the hands of Shonas. Yet Shonas claim that South Africans are xenophobic. All of these people that are crying xenophobia are criminals and they're hypocritical. Do not believe them. Don't have any sympathy for them. Start seeing through the nonsense. Start seeing through the BS. Now, I want you to listen to Chimdi analyzing these American airstrikes. He has a unique perspective himself always, and he always gives you a point of view of Nigeria that aligns with logic rather than mental deformity.
First of all, Merry Christmas to my Ghanaian brothers, both Muslims and Christians. It warms hearts and lifts spirits in knowing that Ghana is a place where Merry Christmas is celebrated both by Christians and by Muslims. It's totally heartwarming. So let me say again, Merry Christmas to my Ghanaian brothers and sisters, though it is belated. And a Merry Christmas to my South African brothers and South African sisters, to my Botswana brothers and Botswana sisters. I want to thank you people. You people are amazing people. You people are elevated people. And you people are superior people. And to Nigerians, I am really happy that on this Christmas, the very package that Nigeria got is the package of Donald Trump. This reminds me of a biblical quotation that said that an evil generation always seeks for signs and wonders. But the only signs and wonders they would always get is the signs of Noah. It is the sign of Noah, which is the sign of destruction. All right, now let's talk about this. It is something that is disgraceful that on a Christmas period, Nigeria this, Nigeria that, that's all you hear. And it's usually on a bad news. Nigeria this, Nigeria that, Nigeria this, Nigeria that. Now, on a Christmas period, they released a bomb. And this is on grounds that ISIS came to Nigeria. Or more like the Nigerian group, ISIS, whatever. I don't know. The terrorist group were given this very swift and particular attack, which were assured by Donald Trump that it was concise, it was swift, it was perfect. You can trust Donald Trump. Blunt guy like me. My lovely Donald Trump. So I love that, and I truly love that. I love that. And but the begging question we should truly ask ourselves is how much we have fallen as a country to the extent that we require the intervention of Donald Trump. You see, I don't know. Ghanaians, you people are so lovely people, because if I was a Ghanaian, there are so many things that all I'll be doing is mocking Nigerians. There are so many topics to mock Nigerians about. There are so many things if I was South Africans. A society so incompetent to the extent that they require an external aid. They require an external aid, though. I saw, you would see the picture of, I think it's a very dark man campaign, carrying some of these posters. Oh, Donald Trump, we need your help. This one, that one, that one, this one, that one. You understand? Now, these are Nigerians, Africans. Now, one of the things you have to understand, this tells you why you should never listen to a Nigerian. Whenever they are talking about Africanism, never ever listen to them. Because the impression they would always give to you is that the white man is your problem. They gave such impression to South Africans. Oh, you people, is it not the white man? And you people unionize with the white man? This, that. This is just their clear envy and hate on grounds that South Africans were able to achieve what they could not achieve. Because if they had such privilege, they would have done it 10 times. How do I know this? This white man, this white man, that white man is a problem. They are ones who tend to assess and call for the aid of white people the most. They are ones who are migrating to the white man's society. The same people that will tell you, no, we're Africans, we're one. The white man is out. Don't you see? How can you people take preference to a white-skinned man than your own brother? I mean, look at especially the Igbo tribe. Especially the Igbo tribe. See, I've grown to the extent that whatever an Igbo man says right now, I'll look at the opposite of what he said as the truth. I don't even have to emphasize. I don't even have to try to observe so many things. He tells me this is A, I know it's not A. He tells me this is white, I know it's black. Because they are nurtured in lies. They are nurtured in hypocrisy. They are nurtured in criminality. That's Igbo. Believe me, that's an Igbo man telling you this. It's when I kept hearing them always making complaints and excuses of, oh, the white man is your problem. They are the ones that held Nigeria hostage tactically. And this. That's how I got to know that the white man had nothing to do with this. And then you'll be seeing them playing out the hypocrisy in your very before. Saying one thing and contradicting themselves with their actions. That is the extent in criminology. That's the extent of criminality. A man that says a thing and does another thing is a criminal. In Igbo, Igbo language is a place we say a lot of intelligent things, but we don't pray. It says, a man who says a thing and does another thing is a thief, is a criminal. So South Africans, Ghanaians, Botswana, enjoy your.
A very important note or point there from Chimdi. Don't let these hypocritical Nigerians talk you out of your birthright. These people want your identity. They are destiny thieves. Once you have fought for your country to have certain privileges, that's when they want to come and reap where they didn't sow and emotionally blackmail you into believing that you're brothers and sisters with them. Therefore, you should share what your ancestors fought for you to enjoy. Meanwhile, in their own country, they're too cowardly to challenge their own government, to fight for these privileges and even create these privileges for their own people. But bahakits, badibadla, in your own country, they are desperate for your birthright. They are desperate for the privileges that your ancestors have fought to give you. Don't give them up cheaply to these Nigerians. In fact, don't give them up at all to these lazy Nigerians, these cowards that refuse to fight for anything in their own country. They'd rather go to another man's country that's already built and start demanding their rights and privileges as if they belong to them. Don't let these guys tamper with your bloodline, because what they're going to do is, if they can't enjoy these privileges, they'll make a baby in your country to make sure that their children and their lineage and bloodline enjoys what your ancestors fought for. It should be illegal for foreigners to make babies in foreign countries. You make children in your own country, your own bloodline, your own lineage. In fact, this idea of immigration is a pure globalist agenda from the get-go to try to contaminate our gene pools, our cultures, and our heritage, and what our ancestors have fought for, the privileges that they fought for. So please, protect your birthright from these savages, from these vultures, from these leeches that want to reap where they didn't sow. Do not feel sorry for them, and don't allow them to manipulate and blackmail you. Fight to protect and preserve what your ancestors have fought for. And don't let them come up with narratives to talk you out of your birthright. Buffett, that's all I've got for you today. I'm going to try to do back-to-back uploads, but I hope you have learned something, and I hope you're on high alert against the terrorist organization called Nigeria. Keep those people far away from your country, from your children, from your communities. When you see them, deal with them. Thank you, guys, for joining me. Kalawana Hape, very soon. Salanghand. Boto.